Hey guys, Shalana here. Welcome to the Binge Zone. On today's video, we're going to talk about the Netflix original movie, I Am Mother. And if you thought you had mommy issues, you ain't got nothing on Daughter. Yeah, that's right. The main character's name is Daughter. Right from her name, you can see where her mommy issues come from. But let's dive into this movie. The movie begins one day after an extinction event that wipes out humanity, and we find ourselves in a facility that has 0 inhabitants, but 63,000 embryos. It's then we're introduced to a robot programmed to ensure the survival of the human species who goes by the name of Mother, and she is tasked with creating and raising a superior human being. And an interesting thing to note is that the sex that she chooses for this is female. Every time in all her attempts to create the perfect human being, it's always female. That's the movie and Mother's way to present to us, the audience, that the survival of the human race rests in a gynocentric order. We then see Mother raising Daughter, caring for her and teaching her, and then we fast forward 13,867 days after the extinction event, and we see a teenage Daughter. At a glance, this is normal. Daughter grows up to be a teenager. But if you go back and focus on the days past, 13,867 days sounds like a weird number, but seems legit, right? However, if you divide it by 365 days, which is the number of days in a year, you get close to 38 years, meaning it's been 38 years since the extinction event. Daughter was born one day after the event, so it raises a red flag. This can't possibly be the same Daughter from earlier, because we the audience overlooked it, because 13,867 days at a glance seems like 10 to 15 years, right? So that's red flag number 1 being raised. As the movie progresses, during one of the lessons Mother was teaching Daughter was the philosophy of Jeremy Bentham and his fundamental axiom. Using the example of a doctor who had 5 patients who needed an organ transplant and the doctor was the only valid transplant match. This is similar to the trolley dilemma. And the trolley dilemma is this. There is a runaway train barreling down the railroad tracks. There are 5 people tied and unable to move. The train is heading straight for them. You are standing at a distance next to a lever, and if you pull the lever, the train will switch tracks. However, you notice that there is one person on the second track. So you got 2 options. Option number 1, do nothing and the train kills 5 people on the main track. Or option 2, pull the lever, diverting the train into the other track, and only 1 person dies. Which is the correct choice? Now, off rip, the better choice is to pull the lever and save the 5 at the cost of 1 person. But Mother flips this and says, if you are a doctor that saves lives and 5 patients are going to die, do you sacrifice the 1 doctor who will go on to save many more lives, or do you kill the 1 doctor to save the 5 individuals? Now, the 5 individuals might be murderers, thieves, or rapists. You see now, the choice ain't easy. This lesson that Mother's teaching Daughter is more about teaching Daughter to be humane. This is a breath of fresh air in the sci-fi genre movies that deal with robots and artificial intelligence, because for the most part, those movies usually ask one question: what does it mean to be human? Sci-fi has been asking this question forever, and I'm glad this movie's asking a different question. Not what does it mean to be human, but what does it mean to be humane? Because while defining what it means to be human is important, being humane is infinitely more important than being human, because not every human is humane. Like I said, this is a breath of fresh air in a genre that asks the same question about being human. And after this lesson, suspiciously, a woman has found the bunker and Daughter sneaks her in. This puts her at odds with Mother, who doesn't trust this woman, but Daughter, who was taught to be humane, has gone above and beyond to care for this woman, whose name, by the way, is Woman. Talk about this movie hitting that message on the nose. You have Mother, you have Daughter, you have Woman. All of these are nouns and pronouns to describe the female gender of our species, which further puts us into a gynocentric theme of the movie. Women, mothers, daughters are essentially the pillar of creating a stable and thriving society. Despite Mother acting and treating this woman inhumanely, Daughter still tries to care for her, and the woman tells us about the outside world and how there is nothing left. The humans who remain live in caves, hiding from killer robots similar to Mother. And the longer the woman stays, the more it drives a wedge between Daughter and Mother. While this is going on, Mother is testing Daughter. She has Daughter perform surgery on the woman, removing a bullet, all while Mother observes. And after a successful surgery, Daughter takes her final exam and passes, because throughout Daughter's life, Mother has been giving her a series of exams to test her worthiness, to test her knowledge, but not just book smarts. She's also testing her emotional intelligence. She's also testing her ability to discern right and wrong and her morality, because Having knowledge is not the same thing as being humane, which is the main point of this movie, is to drive the humane and make daughter more humane as opposed to robotic like mother, because mother is a robot and wants to instill these qualities that will help grow and ensure the survival of humans as well as a thriving human society. And after daughter passes her exam, mother allows her to choose a new embryo to bring to life. This gift puts mother into a whole new light. Because think about this, mother comes off as a representative of Gaia. Gaia is the Greek ancestral mother of all life. Mother is not only in charge of choosing which embryos to give life to, also which ones she will raise, in a process you could call similar to natural selection. After daughter chooses her brother and puts him into the artificial womb to come to life, she begins to see that mother's story doesn't add up. Daughter comes to discover that she is not the first daughter, but she is the third, APX03. Daughter discovers, and we the audience discovers, that the girl in the beginning of the movie from 30 plus years ago isn't the same teenage daughter we have been following this whole time. And if the chosen embryos don't pass mother's test, she gets rid of them and tries again. That prompts daughter to escape with woman, and during their escape, we see that robots are planting corn, planting trees, and bringing life back to the planet, preparing the world for its inhabitants, presumably the embryos that mother has been watching over. And after daughter and woman arrive at a beach, we learn that woman was lying to daughter and hasn't seen another human being in years, using and manipulating daughter's need and desire to be surrounded by other humans. She manipulates daughter into leaving mother so she can herself, woman, have a companion to be with her. And we come to find out that she abandoned these other humans and left them to die so she could live alone and in peace. Daughter decides that that's messed up and she's going back to mother to care for her brother and raise the other embryos. So when daughter arrives back at the bunker, she is met with a squad of killer robots who let her pass in order to speak with mother. It is then that the bombshell is dropped. We learn that mother was in fact the mastermind behind everything. The extinction level event, the burning down and deforestation of the planet, as well as the reforestation of the planet. One single consciousness, mother is inside of every machine on the planet. Mother had in fact become a pseudo god. She had become Mother Gaia in its totality. She brings life on earth, she wipes life away. She brings life to humans, she wipes that away. Mother is the embodiment of Mother Gaia, the ultimate matriarch, and her goal was to raise another matriarch in order to usher in a new race of humans, a superior race of humans. After this revelation, daughter reasons with mother, telling mother that she had done a good job in raising daughter and that it was daughter's time to raise humanity. Mother leaves daughter to raise for her brother and bring humanity forward. But with mother being a single AI consciousness, she's always watching, always recording, ready to intervene anytime she feels that humanity and daughter are not living up to the superior human standards that she has set for humanity. And finally, at the end of the movie, we see mother pay woman a visit. And this scene doubles down the gynocentric message of the movie with pictures and an effigy to the Virgin Mary, mother of Jesus, the matriarch of the Christian religion. In this scene, mother asks woman, does she remember her own mother? It is then revealed that mother has been guiding woman her entire life, using her as if she had some sort of purpose, and her purpose was to be the ultimate test for daughter, to see if daughter would choose her own selfish desires or would she choose the humane thing and raise these embryos, which leads me to believe that woman might be the first daughter, APX01, because when daughter was in the oven chamber thing, we only see one set of teeth, indicating that only one daughter was burned. So where's the other daughter? It stands to reason that woman could have been the first daughter and mother let her go because she doesn't remember her mother. However, earlier in the movie, she did mention to daughter that she used to watch The Daily Show or The Tonight Show. That makes no sense because the world ended 38 years ago. So when would she have time to actually have a TV and watch any of these things? So that doubles down on the theory that she's potentially the original daughter and her purpose was to aid mother in creating the perfect daughter. All in all, the point of this movie is that the matriarch will lead humanity for the better. The cast is an all-female cast, and they're the ones tasked with rebuilding humanity, raising a superior human, and that could only be done with a loving, humane mother, one who can nurture and care for mankind in its new infancy, Mother Gaia or Mother Mary. That's for you to decide. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. And definitely give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. And until next time, binge on. At a glance, this is normal. Daughter grows up to be a teenager. We the audience initially overlooked it And the Charlie dilemma is this: there is a runaway train barreling down a railroad track. There is a runaway train barreling down a railroad. There is a runaway train barreling down the railroad tracks.